squander the opportunity to progress. Never do that. When those windows of opportunity open up for you, you get those promptings, you have to fucking strike. Fuck fear. Fuck fear. I'm telling y'all, I'd be so grateful, man. Y'all have no clue. Last night I was taking some notes before I went to sleep. I was like, let me just take a little bit more notes. Because I remember when I was working for somebody else and I said, man, my break almost over. Let me get a couple of more notes in. Way, way back in the day when I used to work, I'd be sneaking to read a book. The manager would be like, hey, put that book away. It ain't no reading at work. I have a whole bunch of books with me. My lunch break, I'm sitting up there piecing together books and shit. That's how I go, man. But I said, you know what? If I ever get to a point where I'm not working for nobody and I can do that, I'm going to appreciate it. Right? So now when I'm doing it, I always reflect and I appreciate it. I might not got a Lamborghini in my driveway, right? I might not got all the shit that I want in my refrigerator or on my stove, but guess what? I'm grateful to be able to do what I want to do. And even those days will come too. But it's not as significant as me gaining my sense of fulfillment from what it is that I like to do. Exactly. I'm free and I appreciate it. And I'm grateful. And I acknowledge it. You hear me? Just like I'm acknowledging it now. And when you do that, it's just a different type of feeling. It's just different. I really get a real good sense of it when I go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? I go to the gym and I knock off a few calories. I done fell off. I ain't been in the gym in about a month, but I went the other day like, shit, I gotta get my ass back in this gym, right? And it's just that feeling. And I tapped right back into fifth grade when they stopped us from going to gym every day. We can only go 2 days a week. I was like, damn. I think about those times, and that's how I get through my workouts. It's just thinking about when I was a kid or when I was a child, right? How I couldn't wait to get outside and play. You know, that's a little hack for you guys, right? Something else you could do is start doing more reps than meals that you consume. If you're going to consume a meal and that meal weighs over 5 pounds, shouldn't weigh that much. But if the meal you're consuming weighs between 3 and 5 pounds, you should do at least 3 sets of reps of 10 of 5 different things to compensate for what you consume. I call that reps over meals. So you can eat what you want, but make sure that you matching it with reps. And this will help you get shredded, right? It'll help you get shredded. Pick 1 meal per day and do reps around it. Do reps before it and do reps after it. That also gives you the energy for your manifestations as well, is exercise. Do some walking, do some crunches, but you have to be consistent. I don't care if you're just doing it for 15 minutes every day. Get to it and get through it, and then move on with your day. You might as well give yourself that attention, right? That's called love thyself. That's called love thyself. Now I want to go jump on a trampoline. I ain't did that in years, but I feel up to it. Feel up to jumping on a trampoline again. Working up a sweat. making sure I get that good sweat out. I'm telling y'all, it feels good. You feel a lot better. Your body starts to produce more endorphins. And then those positive thoughts that you have, they become even more magnified. And now you can breathe even more life into your manifestations that way. It's just real practical. That ain't got nothing to do with the Anunnaki and spacecrafts and the earth being flat. That shit ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You hear me? You feel good. I had a watermelon shake yesterday. That mug was so on point. I was like, oh. I got to pissing and everything just ran up out of me. I was like, ah, man. And I felt so good. I like even even after I relieved myself, I felt so good. Before then and then even after then, I felt even better. Made me look forward to working out again. But this time I ain't gonna go in the middle of the day. I'm gonna do it before I go to sleep. I like to work out before I go to bed. You know what I mean? Like 8 or 9 at night. Give me a nice little workout in, get a nice shower. And I know I'm gonna hit the hay then. Like it feels good. Your muscles recover better when you get in a full night's rest. So, that's important too. As far as the Gregory Grabovoi codes, I'm always saying Gregory Grabovoi codes while I'm going to sleep. Now I done found the 8-hour binarial. I'll be saying it until I go to sleep. I've been doing that all this week. I've been thriving off of scratch offs and the lottery. Just putting that out there. Shouts out to Mark Harton. The manifestation coach dealing with the lottery. But I'm always gonna hit the scratch off. I'm always gonna hit the lottery. Like I'm on a different frequency. Right? I'm on a whole different frequency. More intuitive. My telepathic range is starting to expand. And hey, everything is just on the up. It's on the up. I can't do nothing but be grateful and burn some old extra ancestor money for my dearly departed. That's what I do with it. Like, man, let me go ahead and give a burn and give a gratitude and stay in the sense of gratitude. Because your attitude of gratitude will increase your altitude. She said she'd been buying scratch offs, nothing yet. Yeah. What you got to do is visualize yourself in the place where you're buying the scratch off. See yourself putting the ticket up under there and it's saying winner. Visualize that. Get that crystallized in your consciousness. And it'll start happening. You need to join the tech community. If you join our community, shit start happening. Money making Mondays. You come come get all the techniques. Money making Mondays. It might not seem like a lot to you guys, and it's okay. But it's been over 200K in manifestations over the last 2 years in our group, right? And that's just off of using the codes, burning the cinnamon, the bay leaves, using the techniques, using the sigils. The stuff worked, man. See, we've been so conditioned to things not going on our way and things not working for us that we think that that's the way that it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And that's not the way that it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be how you want it to be. You better keep yourself on that frequency and watch how stuff just start happening for you. It just start happening all the time. The problem is being around people that's not on that frequency, because then you'll start feeling guilty about it. You don't want to feel guilty about it, but you want to stay on that frequency. You hear me? So you got to just remove yourself from people that ain't on that type of frequency like that. Because if they not there, it's like, shit. You start feeling bad. And now that shit done shifted your shit. You feeling guilty for something you ain't even do. It had nothing to do with that shit. But you entertaining it, right? You entertaining it. Remember, you got to be receptive. You got to think it. You got to speak it. You got to feel it. And then you're going to store it in your subconscious mind, right? We have 50,000 likes. Anybody got any other questions out there? Any other questions? But take your question and expound on it. Come join the community. All you got to do is purchase some Orgon from our website. Running a sale right now, making it easy for you guys. Doing my best to make it easy for you. Get you a little small medallion, or get you a pop socket. But just don't stop there. Be like, where my money? Like, nah, man. You better get on board. The database is expanding. The community is expanding. What is the best to eat before bed? What is the best? Yeah, you don't want to eat before bed. Said cheesecake. Hey, you can eat you some cheesecake if you want to. It's okay to have a little snack, but don't be eating no full meal. Don't go to Taco Bell or the no fast food restaurant and you catch the niggeritis. Even making a full course meal at home, right? Even if you're vegetarian, don't eat before you go to sleep. You want the subconscious area to be clear, right? That's where all of your thoughts, words, and actions are stored. They're stored in the subconscious mind, which is in the stomach, right? That's where things are stored. So you want to make sure that this is clear. This makes it easier for you to feel what's going on while you're in your dream. This makes it easier for you to speak in your dream. You got a certain gate that you go through your consciousness when you're going into the spiritual universe. It's called the talking and walking realm. And some people are still tethered to this reality while they're in the spiritual universe, and they'll be talking in their sleep. And in some cases, some people will get up and start walking in their sleep. Have you guys heard of that before? I used to be one of those type of beings. I was talking and walking in my sleep. I would even get up and open the door and go walking down the street. Right? But you want to make sure that the stomach is clear. You might have missed it when I just went over this. You also, if you want to remember your dreams and stuff, go to bed early. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock you want to be in the bed. If you want to remember your dreams. Because now you done sat with the sun. You hear me? You'll remember your dreams a lot better. All you got to do is live your life. And whatever you do frequently will determine the frequency that appears in your reality. So think about whatever you do frequently. What do you do most frequent? Whatever you frequent is going to determine the frequency that you on. When you get drawn into a place and there's other people there, y'all all on the same frequency. You're on a temporal frequency for the time that you're there, right? Many of you are thinking about the same things. You got the same thoughts. 9 times out of 10, it could be a programming. But if you popping up in places and you're the only person in there, you're on a different type of frequency. You're on a different type of frequency, and everything had to get out the way in order for you to appear there. But if enough people lock into the same thought, they'll end up on the same frequency, especially if they're doing it frequently. This is another level or layer to material or physical awareness. 1,089 degrees of physical awareness. So when we go to sleep, all of that is stored in the subconscious mind. And that light. All of that's stored in the subconscious mind. And when you wake up in the spiritual universe, now you can make all that stuff materialize instantly. It don't even take no time. It just happens. And you're not used to processing things that way, especially if your holographic brain isn't activated, meaning that your consciousness isn't moving through your holographic brain. If God is omnipresent and beyond dimension, why does God command to be loved? Well, to answer your question, or God is a man-made concept, right? The word God was invented by a man in the 6th century, 6 AD. His name was John Wycliffe. And he came up with the word God because every other word that they used to denote who the creator was another man-made name that was quite vague, that was quite ambiguous about what is God, or who is God, or what is his name or her name. So he came up with the definition and the meaning for God. And people took that from his Germanic Gothic background, because they used to venerate a god named Gog, right? It's called Gog. Some people say Gog. And then that became God. Then when you got to English, you said good. They just took one of the ciphers out of the word good and got God, right? But before then, the going concept on the planet, exactly. The concept of God that we had before we got in contact with the Amorites, before they corrupted the records, was the sun. And it even tells you that in the Bible. They try to hide it. They put it in your face. They hide it right in front of your face. But they're talking about the sun, the source of God's creation, according to Jesus in that scripture. This is why you say amen at the end of your prayer. Amen is Amen Ra. That's the God of the sun, the faithful and the witness. It faithfully rises every AM, and it witnessed all life on this planet. It's the light that light up every man that shineth throughout the world. It's talking about the sun. The word Amen appears over 22 times in the New Testament, 55 times in the Old Testament, and 15 times in the Quran. That's 87 times across 3 different scriptures, across 2 different centuries, that they using the word amen. And all of their stories is connected to the Happy Nile Valley. That's how they got their sense of validation. They had to throw Egypt in there, which is a Greek term, but we gonna just use it. See how I gotta dumb it down and still speak like that? And that's no shot at you, brother. I'm just saying that's the way, that's how deep the spell is, right? But I had to confront the inconsistency of that word God. It needs to be addressed because it make you come with those type of questions, which you had a right to do that, and you should have those type of questions, right? You should. Because where's this nigga at? How come all these children could get trafficked and touched in a sexual way by someone that outsizes them? And then there's no justification done for the victimization of the being. Where is the vengeance? Or where is the the justification? Where's the divine justice? So you got to look at the being but see why we got to wait. See, stuff like that don't need to be waited for in the sense to where you want to justify something that has yet to justify it even exists. And you know what Dionysius Exiguus, who was the first Christian monk of Antioch, what he did was he burnt John Wycliffe at the stake and his understudy John Huss and took their notes. He took their notes and added that shit into the Nicene Creed. That's how he was able to put the creed together, because it was a creed before it became a council, right? These are man-made concepts that was made by men that had no connection to the sun, that had no connection to the Happy Nile Valley, and it had no connection to anything off-world. All they know how to do is believe. Just believe. Just have faith. And see, in Antioch, which is established in 345 BC, the people in Antioch did not know how to read and write. So when Christianity was established, only the ruling class knew how to read and write. And whoever was the pastor or the father, the cardinals and the bishops that they were developing, they learned how to read and write. All the populace that was open to what was referred to as Christianity, which started off in Syria, right? In 4 BCE, that's when Christianity started in Antioch. All right, I talk about this in the Paruti Paradigm. Go get my book, The Paruti Paradigm. Link is in the bio. It's an ebook, you guys. You got to download the ebook. But in that book, I show it quite clear. Antioch was a city that was established by Seclius I. They called him Seclius the Victor. And Seclius the Victor, he was the head general of the Mesopotamian army under Alexander the Great. I like to call him Alexander the Fake, right? And Seclius named Antioch after his father. His father's name was Antioch. Just to put it all in context for people, when they start talking about Christ, Jesus, God, this is where it began. And the people knew how to speak a language, but they didn't know how to read or write a language. Many of them were Phoenicians, right? To Alexander the Greek, yes. The Mesopotamian, he was Mesopotamian first. And that's where they developed their Hellenistic concepts before they became Greek, right? But they got their knowledge out of Egypt. None of them didn't know what the hell they was talking about until they came across us. And this is the point I keep trying to make. They didn't know how to read and write. They did. Everybody did. The whole population didn't know how to read and write. They didn't have a definitive language. That's where the Phoenicians was able, because it's the Phoenicians and the Mesopotamians. Those two group of people don't have a definitive land. They just got their population of people just take over a whole bunch of land. And everyone knows how to use their tongue. That's right, they did. Well said, or that's exactly what happened. But I'm just putting in I don't know where you at with it. I'm just, structuring your question or responding to that question. But these concepts were made up by men that lacked the intellect to read and write. And in order for them to suppress the people, they had to get them to have faith and belief. And they said, man, I don't know how to read this shit. They said, it don't matter, just believe it. Just have faith. And Jesus will one day. My grandmother made her ancestors be with her. She waited 96 years for Jesus. That nigga never popped up. Her mother before her waited for Jesus. He never came. And they, he coming, just wait. Like, man, come on. You done waited your whole life and you could have been doing something else. You could have been Jesus your damn self. But instead, you're waiting on some other motherfucker. That's somebody playing tricks with you. They got you waiting while they acting like Satan. That's what I see going on. And all these pink motherfuckers gonna be showing up at these AME churches when it's time to vote. But they need your vote. Right? That's when they gonna start showing up. A lot of niggas be like, oh yeah, vote for so-and-so. Like, where was that motherfucker during the off season? Where was they at when you was down bad? When was they coming out to shake hands then? Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's some programming. Like I said, everybody not meant to see it. Some people came here just to taste the fudgesicle. They just want to see how the fudgesicle tastes. That was it. They seen what was going on here and didn't care. You can't knock them for that. Right? All you could do is be cognizant of it and know how you had to engage beings in this reality. Because they got hope and faith in it. The whole curriculum, the education system itself was built by the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, what's the other guy's name? The Warburgs, Carnegie, and there's one more I'm forgetting about. The Ford Company. Those 5 families built this country. They're the ones that funded your education system so that you would want to work for the plant. That was Ford and the Warburgs, right? You want to work for the plant. Get a house. That's covered by the Rockefellers, right? Get a bank account. That's the Rothschilds. You see that? Go take a holiday or a vacation. That's the Carnegie family. And then you got, money in the bank. That way you don't want to do nothing but work. You've been educated to work. I don't care how many PhDs you got, how many master degrees you got. You there to fuel those 5 families. That's why they got 5 points on the star. That's what that represents. Y'all don't like hearing that shit, but it's the truth. You hear me? And what they build up, the Pope don't recognize. That's why when the Pope come to this country, he don't never go to Washington, D.C. Where he go? He goes to Philadelphia. He goes to Philadelphia. That's where the Constitution was written. Every time. Even the Pope, they got an American Pope now. They made sure that nigga was from Philadelphia. He had to be from Pennsylvania. Because that's where the Catholic Church established itself over here first. That's right. You on point, JR. I'm a confirming fact for you, brother. Exactly. Exactly. But people start going in depth about God and Jesus, and they ain't even read the damn book of Matthews. If you can't tell me the book of Matthews, I don't be wanting to hear what you got to say when it comes to the Bible and Jesus. 9 times out of 10, the people that come at me with that Jesus mess, I be like, have you read Matthews? Hair on their tongue. They don't even read that shit. How you gonna believe in something that you ain't even read about? That's the spell. I told y'all that go back to Antioch. That go back, people been conditioned just to believe and have faith. The English language didn't start being developed in the 1592. King James was illiterate. I get so sick of seeing that video. King James was a demonologist. He read this book, man. That nigga was a half-wit. He had a learning disability. He did not know how to read. You should be learning your own language. Learn Nuwapic. Shouts out to Messiah Almaty in the Nuwapic Institute. Right? He teaching a dialect of Nuwapic, but you need to learn Nuwapic. Right? Learn Greek. Learn French. Learn all the other languages that people are speaking. No one speaks Latin anymore. It's a dead language. No one speaks Hebrew no more. It's a dead language. But y'all using these languages as a reference to what you believe in. You don't speak the language, read the language. You hear me? Or write the language. And they didn't do it then either. They just had faith and belief in it. Oh, just believe it. Just have faith. Faith is enough. You got to open up your heart and believe. And that would have been enough. But they put some ketchup and mustard on it when they told y'all that the nigga coming back. Like, yo, he gonna spin the block. Got killed by his own creation. Like, when you really sit there and listen, you got to be kind of a half-wit to take that in. That's what I show y'all in the Parudi paradigm. When you sit back after you finish reading that, you think about what you done read. Like, damn, you got to kind of be kind of a half-wit to believe that shit. Why you think it was illegal for so-called black people to read? They didn't even want your ass to read. Because they know that you got too much reasoning. You will figure out it's a lie. Like, yo, this shit don't make sense. They always got a spin on it. And the most depressing part about it is Deacon Dior and Pastor Porkchop, right? Minister Michael Kors. These niggas is they Masons. They know you come out of Egypt. They know that all that shit came from the Happy Now Valley, and they'll still get up there on Sunday and say hallelujah Jesus and tell you in Jesus' name. And then pull up that picture of that bony ass white man. If that ain't sacrilegious to your divinity, I don't know what is. That's some bullshit. Because when I go to Asia, the Asian man got a god that look like him. When I go to India, the Indian man got a god that look like him. When I go to Mali, in Uganda, in Kenya, those people got a god that look like them. When I go up to Saudi Arabia, Iran, they got a god or a prophet that look like they ass. When you go into the Roman, into Europe, they got a god that look like them. How come my God can't look like me? Because you done knocked the nose off that nigga and you done knocked the lips off of him. You done took his story and made it yours. And your own people done pointed that shit out. And for our people that hear it, and get cognizant dissonance, you doing your own self and your own bloodline a disservice by taking that approach. You know what I'm saying? He said, take years. Man, that shit still be on you. That's why I get offended when a person, especially when a white person come to me and tell me that Jesus loved me. You basically saying that my God don't love me. You didn't even ask me. You know what I mean? You don't do that to Asian people. They look at you like you a damn fool. That's why they built that big ass wall. Keep that bullshit over there, man. They're thriving. The Oriental world, the Asian world leads the world in population. They lead the world in industry, manufacturing, education, finance, technology. They stock market, they trade in technology. They're not even using money. They money so much more worth more than ours. It's crazy. You hear me? But guess what they never stopped doing? They never stopped venerating their ancestors. That's who invented the ancestor money. They always burn the ancestor money every day. And when places where you go get your cuticles lined up, and you get your toes and your fingernails done, man, they burning their ancestor money for their ancestors. Right? They honor their ancestors every day. That's why they winning. That's why. Even when you go to Mexico, the Mexicans like, shit, fuck that Jesus nigga. I don't know about that, but Mary, Mary birthed him. We'll give it to Mary. You hear me? And she Mexican. They got a Mexican Mary. She got she got the sombrero on. Right? Or the poncho. She got the poncho on and shit. Tell me I'm lying, man. Tell me I'm fucking lying. But when it comes to me, I need to be holding up white Jesus. Because if the Son of God is white, then that make God white. And they got a picture of God on the temple or in the cathedral of Sistine, right? In the Sistine Chapel, it's a picture of God. And he pointed his finger like that, and it looked like his little boo thing, you know, his lover, it's another man, and he pointed his finger and their fingers is touching. And it's a whole bunch of butt-naked babies with wings all around them. And it looked like he laying in a dirty sheet or some shit. It looked real perverted. But that's neither here nor there. He looked like a Caucasian man. Then you say that Jesus is the Son of God. So if God is that color, what color is the devil? Subliminally, I'm automatically thinking that the devil look like me, because it's the polar opposite of what the image that they're propagating. That needs to be addressed. And I get triggered from that even to today when a person tell me that Jesus loves me. I got to go through all of that process through my subconscious mind, even though I wasn't brought up and conditioned to that, and accept that. That's wrong. That's misinformation, and that should be addressed, and it will be addressed. But that's what we do. We address shit. We don't just let shit just gloss over like, hey, hold on a second, partner. Hold on. We ain't about to just act like you ain't just say that. He said, what? Yeah, they needed that. They needed some type of structure. They were first introduced to organize knowledge, law, literature, when they were brought into what is that land? Ur of Chaldea, which was one of the cities that was established by Enki and Enlil. It belonged to the Akkadian Empire, which they ended up taking over in 1750 BCE. And the second that they learned about literature and law, everything went into dissension from that time all the way up to now. I mean, the water filthy. You see, you got Billy Goat Gates out here buying up all the farmland and making synthetic shit, and they putting some new little rat virus out there. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. They very poor caretakers, right? Couldn't keep up with the upkeep of the planet when it was their time to rule. It's so much blood on the ledger of Christianity that you could build an ocean with it. And that's never addressed. All of the Romans and the Greek that they added up, they put into that Colosseum and let the lions out on them. Where was God for those people? These are man-made concepts coming from man-made individuals that did not have a divine connection to anything. When you check their ledger, there's nothing benevolent that they have done for this planet. They're the only group of people that had to come to other people's land. Everybody else stay on their own little shit. They don't come and invade your land. They don't need to. They know who they are. They happy where they at. And they're in the line with the traditions and the customs that serve them all of their damn generations. You follow? So you got to be quite scrupulous when it comes to these ideologies being propagated towards you. Now, I don't mind what other people believe. If Jesus is keeping you off of drugs and keeping you away from bad company, church is a great institution. It really does help. It's a great place to stay out of trouble. But it's not a great place to learn the truth because they don't have no truth. They don't read. They don't write. They just do faith and belief. And faith and belief, that shit didn't expire. That expired when they realized that the earth wasn't flat. And they didn't figure that out until 1620. They tell you all about Christopher Columbus. That nigga still thought he was in India. He didn't think he was in Colombia. He thought he was in India. You hear me? Not until the French started telling their ass. Said the Vatican and J.P. Morgan. Oh, yeah. You know they are all in the damn bed. That's later. But see, the Roman Vatican used to keep everybody money. Everybody used to keep their money in the Vatican bank. The Vatican keep their money in a Jewish bank, right? That's what's going on. It's still going on right now. It's still going on right now. They blocking the Church of England. The United Kingdom, they kind of getting blocked. They're not going to tell y'all that in the public domain, but they kind of get blocked by the Romans because of the Supremacy Act of 1592. That's what I was bringing. I'll talk about that in the Poverty Paragon. The Supremacy Act of 1592, when King Henry VIII severed his kingdom from the Roman Vatican Church and denounced Christianity and established the Church of England in 1592. They said y'all can't use our Bible no more, or it's going to be a warrant for your arrest. So they had to come up with a language. You know what I'm saying? They had to come up with a language. And when they came up with a language, they still didn't know how to develop it. So they had to go to the Germans. They had to go to the Romans. They had to go to the Greeks. They had to go to the Latin. Right? Because they were speaking pig Latin. The United Kingdom. Right? That wasn't long ago. 1592 is not long ago, you guys. And they tell you that they had you a slave for 400 years. But you just found out the damn earth ain't flat. Make it make sense. How you learn how to navigate that fast? Somebody lying to you. It came over here first in 1620. 1652 is when they really, really came over here, right? Meaning it wasn't just one or two boats. Those was the slave boats. They came over to this mud. You didn't gain your independence from Britain until 1792. Or excuse me, yeah, 1792. They say 1776, but it's really 1792. Some 45 years later, the camera was developing at a high clip. They call it gyroography. And gyroography shows you pictures, with lighting where it's not blurred and it got staying power. And if you look at any pictures that was developed between the years, and I'm being modest here, 1835 to 1845, pull up photos taken in America, but between that time, you're going to see a lot of dignified looking, dark skinned people with noses like mine, with lips like mine. You're not going to see no slaves in chains, and you ain't going to see none of that shit. Those are beings that they were taking prisoner, trying to hold them to capital punishment of their laws. Because they had no people to exercise their laws against. No one would play ball with them. You hear me? They lying to y'all ass. We've been built these cities. Right on, Sapphire. We got to stop listening to them. Start listening to nature. Start listening to the sun. Start listening to the divine inside. And get back in alignment with what reflects us. That's what this great day and time is really all about. That's what it's about. It's about that eye becoming open again. That's the mind's eye, right? That's the thinking chamber, seat of your mental energy, where you receive the transmissions from on high. And they get filtered into the lower form called your body. And you think it, you speak it, you feel it, and you store it. You assess it once you go to sleep and leave your body, right? Because when you leave your body, what happened when you leave your body, you guys? You go to the spiritual universe. Now you're vibrating with you're rapidly vibrating. Once you exit the body, you're rapidly vibrating once you exit the body because you in the spiritual universe. You in the spiritual galaxy that has spiritual suns and spiritual planets that house spiritual beings. You see that? So time operates a lot differently there. It's not confined to space like here. So 5 minutes on the earth, on earth, 5 earth minutes is equivalent to 5 hours on the spiritual earth. It's vibrating a lot faster, right? So what you call an hour of time Say you take an hour nap, that's the equivalent of taking, oh, excuse me, say it 1 hour, yeah, 1 hour here is equivalent to 300 hours there, right? Or am I saying that right? Am I saying that wrong? Yeah, 300 hours. But that's 8 hours of rest, right? 8 hours of rest here. I'm saying that wrong. No, I'm right. So 5 hours in 1 hour of time, and 12 hours of time, excuse me, and 8 hours of time over here is the equivalent of 300 hours in the spiritual universe. So while you in the spiritual universe and you taking a nap on this side, it's like you've been gone for 12 days. That's how rapid you are vibrating once you leave your body. But think, right? Think about this. If you're if you're inside your body all the time, you're used to being in your body. Then one day you don't return to your body no more. It's going to take you some getting used to not being here and being there, right? If you're not aware of that aspect of yourself. So the whole time that you're going through your life, right? Because 5 minutes is 5 hours. And a full 60 hours, excuse me, a full hour of time is equivalent to 300 hours. So when that 300 hours, you've been gone for 12 days, or what feels like to your spirit 12 days. Now it has to slow all the way down. Get back into this body. Wake up to this reality. Disregard everything that it got stored in the subconscious. It got to disregard that just to focus on what's going on here. And what's going on here is it's telling you about some God, some white dude, and some pearly gate, and some son that he sent to die for you. You hear me? And you buying into all of that. And when it's time for you to go to sleep, none of that shit existing where you going. You making it exist over there when you do go to sleep. Because as I told you guys, only thing that's restricting you from manifesting the thoughts on your mind is the density, the visible spectrum. It's too dense. Because if I told you to draw Michael Jackson with a Thriller jacket on, you just did it the second I said with a Thriller jacket on. Your mind did it that fast. It already did it. Perfect. I don't care if you can't draw a lick. It still did it. But I said, even if you could draw a lick, I said, draw it right now. You got to go get a canvas. You got to go get, that depends on if you do oil painting or you use markers or if you use pencil. You would need all that stuff. Miss Canot Store City has, I don't know what you're talking about. You got to have to ask the question, beloved. You're going to have to ask the question. It's Q&A, Q&A. So when you're going to sleep, you're functioning at that same level. That shit happen real fast. You think of something, it pop up right in front of you. You want something to materialize, it's just gonna happen. That's why they tell you in your dreams, everything in your dream is you. And that's mostly true. He said the storage city. I don't know what that is. You gotta. Anyway, how does this tie into astral projection? That's an excellent question. You're astral projecting all the time. Just I told the sister, DJ Head Hiru. Shouts out to Head Hiru. I told that sister earlier about the scratch offs because I'm always hitting the scratch off. I visualize myself at the gas station where I get my scratch off. I'm visualizing myself right now, putting the scratch up under the little red dot, and it's telling me I won. I'm seeing $100 right now. Oh shit, I just won $100. I just astral projected there and did that. While I'm sitting here with you, I astral projected there and did that. Right? That's what I just did. And I trust in my mind's power to project me there. Right now, somebody in there like, whoa, did you feel that? It felt like somebody was standing behind me. You ever had that feeling before? That's because wherever you was at, somebody else was there. They projected themselves there. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, or we just gonna have to mute you. You're getting too religious, man. You're not respecting the platform. Go do that shit on your page. You throwing off the whole live trying to say some shit. You ain't got no questions. I guarantee you not venerating your grandmother, right? I can guarantee you that. You're not pouring no libation or none of that. You need to just be quiet. But yeah, that's astral projecting for Sapphire Sun. It's you projecting yourself to a specific location. Because just like any journey, when you travel, you got to have a destination in mind, or you just to be any damn where. You got to know definitively where you attempting to go, where you're projecting an etheric double version of yourself to, right? And I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Sometimes you get pissed off. Like I went to go get some carrot cake yesterday. And I'm sitting up there pumping the gas. I'm like, man, you welcome, beloved. Like, man, I'm gonna go get me a piece of carrot cake out that HEB. I just had my mouth all set for it for later, and they didn't even have none. Said, can we do that with places we haven't been yet? Yes. Yes, like I tell you guys, I said this in a prior live. It's easier for you to do it now because you got technology. You want to be in Monaco? Crop a picture of yourself out and put your ass on the damn beach in Monaco. And you done astral projected there and you done photoshopped yourself there simultaneously. If you always looking at it, your brain will start rewiring and recalibrating itself so you can process the frequency that you need to obtain in order to get there in real time. And then it'll happen, right? Then it'll happen. I used to listen to NWA so much. Compton, Compton, right? I used to love Eazy-E and NWA, right? And one day we moved to California. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get to meet Eazy-E. Even though that didn't happen. I'm just saying. I used to visualize myself in Cali, and one day we actually moved there. We didn't move to Compton, but we did move to California. And just that in itself was mystifying to me because I always visualized myself being there. And then one day we ended up being there. So trust in the power of your mind. You got to visualize, imagine, and turn it into animation or into action. Or you got to take action on what you imagine and what you visualize. And trust the power of your mind. You got to trust it. You can't have faith and belief and, oh, I read this somewhere. Fuck that. You got to trust. Because more than what anybody can read out of a damn book is your experience. Experience trumps everything. I tell you guys, I've been on this page 29 years. So what do you suggest to recommend to calm down when the heart is beating too fast during astral projection? If your heart is beating too fast, you need to be outside, grounded. Where are you astral projecting to? So you got to know where you projecting to. I used to meditate at night and then I go to sleep. And before I go to sleep, I watch Credo Mutwa and David Icke. And one night I projected there and that nigga seen me. He seen me. The first night he didn't say nothing. But the next night he said, I see you over there. Come here. Have a seat. Don't say anything. I was like, damn. But you got to have a destination, right? If your heart is racing and your heart is beating, right? That's right in here, the heart area. Your unconscious mind might have too much autonomy over what you're feeling. And you, which is right here in the brow, has to override that. Because your body shouldn't be going through them type of changes while you astral projecting, right? If your heart is racing too fast, that means that the adrenals is flowing. And that's keeping you on an animal vibration, right? Like the fear. Fear is what induces adrenal and gets that heart to pumping extra fast. But if you have a destination in mind, that will stop happening instantly. It's basically like you just going through space. So make sure that you get you a destination and just project there. I just be projecting to the store. You know what I mean? I go to the store. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to just show y'all right fast. This ain't nothing. And I'll be hitting the lottery tickets too. I ain't hit the big one yet, but I'll be hitting these mugs. I went to turn my tickets in and 2 of them ain't even due yet. It was like, yeah, those not due yet. So I still might hit on these. These are a couple of tickets I got. And I won this little cash all off of scratch-offs. I just keep collecting the little money. I did spend $25 though. I ain't gonna lie. I did. I spent $25. But I did get me a new water. I told y'all I always get a water. But I made about $60 today. This was just today. Just today. Give me that. Give me that $5 one. Give me one of those $10 ones. And I just kept doing it again. Okay, now give me that one and give me that one. People be looking at me like, how is this motherfucker hitting that shit? Right? But I told y'all I always go get, because I don't carry cash. I don't. Every day I go to that store, I pick up one of these. Didn't I tell y'all that the other day? Remember I told you? I said, Joe, every time I go to the store, I make sure that my scratch off gonna pay for what I buy. Right? And I trust in the power of my mind to make that shit happen. I mean, I trust that shit. Fuck that. I'd rather trust it than to be doubtful about it. Fuck that. Listen to what I'm telling you. Reality, existence is your co-conspirer. It's going to good, bad, or indifferent right with your ass. If you don't believe in yourself, then guess what? Existence going to malleably move around you and put you in consistent scenarios and situations where you don't really believe, or you really think it can't happen. You better start seeing astral projecting yourself to a situation where you know that shit can happen. You hear me? And crawl before you walk, God damn it. You'll get there a lot faster. Water good. No, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to see y'all win. Because when people win, they always look out for me. Motherfucker be looking out for me. Like, yo, man, I gotta look out for this nigga. You don't even know that. And that's their business. They don't be telling me what they done got, but people be hitting me off. Like, hey, man, thank you, Dr. Ray. Peace of love, beloved. You got any questions? Got any questions? All right. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. It's Q&A with Dr. Ray, beloved. Yeah, but this stuff work, man. I seen a blood red moon one night before. What's this? Seen a blood red moon. I don't know. It depends on where you live at in the world. I don't know the significance of that, but what I do know the significance of the new moon. You welcome, Urchin. The new moon is when you initiate things. So when you seeing a blood moon or a red moon or a yellow moon or a blue moon, I can't front on you. I don't be peeping for the significance of all of that. All I do is just stay on my rituals consistently. That way, when whatever it is doing, good, bad, or indifference, I can acquiesce that energy and incorporate it into what I got going on. It's gonna happen anyway if you always on your rituals. You always doing your routines on a daily basis. But I don't know that. But what I do know is the new moon is happening on May the 16th. This is like the third time I'm saying this, you guys. Make sure that you seed your intentions during the new moon, right? If you plan on moving, start drafting your plan on the 16th of May, right? Then how does your breathing play in your meditation and astral projection? Well, all I do, it helps you to use it as a mechanism to monitor your mind. If you can monitor your breathing and then you let that go, you'll start monitoring your mind. And your mind will start monitoring your breath for you while you monitoring it, right? While you clearing the mind. We go through the breathing techniques. I don't want to go back over them again. There was some good tasks to do on a new moon. So like, we have something called moon magic. And you want to have two intentions, one internal and one external. One internal intention, meaning something that you want to change within the 30 days of the new moon to the full moon. One external intention that you want to materialize within in that time. So as the moon goes through those 7 phases, the first phase, I like to call it the focus and concentration phase. They call it the seeding phase. That's when you're going to seed your intentions into the new moon. That's what the new moon represents as the universal soil. You're going to seed your 2 intentions. Internally, I want to work on my discipline. Externally, I want to get me a new suit, right? So I mark off on my calendar March the 16th, and I see when the full moon is going to come. I want to say it's June the 3rd or the 4th, right? Maybe the 2nd. I'm going to set my intentions into the new moon on May the 16th. And I'm going to focus and concentrate on those two intentions. And I'm going to look in the trajectory where the new moon is at. And I'm going to astral project, listen, my intentions into that new moon. Now, after the first 3.5 days, it finishes that first phase. The second phase, we call that the meditating phase. And you meditate on those things for 3.5 days. Now, the third phase after that is the scarecrow. It's the crow phase. Crow phase, the scarecrow phase. That's when the crows come. These are your distractions and your detractions that are attempting to pull those seeds that you've planted into the universal soil out the ground. How do they do that? They distract you and detract you. They negate your focus and your concentration from focusing and concentrating on your two intentions. So you're going to meet a challenge after you've meditated on it during the second phase, in the third phase. So you're going to be challenged to make sure that this is what you really want. The fourth phase is when you begin to clear. They call that the clearing phase. And you're clearing out all the weeds and all of the, loose stuff that might be around where you planted. You're just going to do a little bit of tilling. The fifth phase is the seeing phase. This is when you start seeing a result. Something starts sprouting up out the ground with those two intentions. You start showing a little bit more discipline. All of a sudden, they running a sale on suits at the men's warehouse for Father's Day. And they're going to start it early so that everybody can get them a suit. You hear me? You wasn't even thinking about that. And all of a sudden, it then popped up. And I'm just using this as an example. During the sixth phase of the moon, that's where you're going to do mostly administration or delegation and put 10% effort into your materialization. In other words, you don't have to focus and concentrate on it as hard as you did the first 5 phases. Now it's going to start happening on its own. Then you got the 7th phase. We call that the harvest or the bragging phase. That's when everything has come into fruition that you've been focusing and concentrating on through those 7 phases. Now it will come into fruition. Right? And once it comes into fruition, now you can brag about it. If you want to. You don't have to brag. But you're like, hey man, look what I done did. Like, damn, how did you do that? I used this moon magic and it worked. Now, I always tell people, be practical. Be practical about your intentions. Be practical. Be reasonable. Take a logical, rational approach to this. This decreases the probability of disappointment. Because the first time you got on a motorcycle and tried to drive it by yourself, you fail. Right? And that's okay. You can't do it right until you do it wrong. So after you finish with that phase of the full moon, now the moon begins to wane. And I like to call this the assessment phase, because now you start back engineering through everything that you did to bring you to that full moon and see what you could prepare for doing it even better next time. The main part of the video that you will be watching in your rewind will be the crow phase, when you were distracted and detracted, and you come up with a stronger, more fortified stratagem in order for you not to get distracted during that phase, so that you can hit the proverbial bullseye in the next full moon. Another thing that you could do, and I tell all the people in the community to do this, find you 2 intentions that you could focus and concentrate on for the next 6 months. And make sure that you find you 2 good intentions that have the capability of changing your life. And they will change your life. Because the more focus and concentration you put on something, the more faster it expands. And if you do it over a long period of time, you're going to get an, you know, a more optimum result from your efforts, right? You could change your life in 6 months using moon magic. I did it a few times. I'm telling you, it can happen. You just got to have trust. You got to trust in you. You feel me? You can't be looking outside of yourself. You got to go. You got to go within. I told y'all they condition people to fantasy. It's like, no, you got to go within yourself. You got to want to, man. Don't be trying to show me some shit what some shit said in the book. No, nigga, that ain't gonna help when it's time for you to do something. That book ain't gonna jump up and do it for you. You still got to do it. And it can happen. I'm a byproduct of it. 2 and 3 times over. You hear me? I use the moon magic effectively. Very effective. Because I trust, right? I trust in my imagination. I trust in my visualizations. And I'm going to take action. My imagination and animation, I'm taking action on that shit. I'm not going to be pessimistic about it. I'm not making no doubtful move. And I see a bunch of people that be taking L's with the moon magic. It's because you coming into it doubtful, skeptical. You're not optimistic enough. If you kind of do it, it's going to kind of work. But if you really do it, then it really works. Nobody can take that from you. And you'll feel better about it. You'll be motivated and empowered to even do it again. And to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. You start showing other people about it. Because people used to ask me like, damn, man, what you be doing? Damn, man, you always finding the licks. You always finding this. You be everywhere. When you just in California? Yeah. Where you at now? New York. Damn, you in New York? Yeah. But see, I see my intentions. And I trust that shit, man. Like, yo, you see the game? Like, nah, I ain't see the game. Damn, you missed it. Shit, the game missed me. Nigga, I was focused on my damn intentions. This intention time. I don't give a You gotta be locked in on you, man. You hear me? Everybody be trying to get you. Hey, look at what I got going on. Like, man, fuck all of that shit. I hear you, but hey, hold on a second. What Cat Williams tell you? You got to be concerned about who? The star motherfucking player. You better be concerned. Shit. You better be concerned about yourself. Ain't nobody else think about your ass. They not. Right? I'm not trying to do that. They try to get me to do one day I'm going to do the little battle with the light thing, but not today, man. Anybody else got any questions? Any other questions? Don't be scared. 2 days to the moon magic. Or the new moon. New moon tomorrow, y'all. I mean, on the 16th. 2 days. Yep. Go to YouTube. Go check out the moon magic. The moon magic upload. I went through the full moon magic for you guys. It's on YouTube. Or you can purchase the essentials. That's on my website. 1089techvision.com. Go to the 1089 TV. Go to 1089 TV, because when I'm in the tech community, I can be a lot more forthright with my breakdowns. I ain't dancing around it. But I think I uploaded one of those to the YouTube. If you can't find it, it's available on the website too. Shouts out to the 1089 tech community and the AAA Academy and alumni. These people are doing a bang up job. I just got to give it to y'all, man. Y'all altars looking good. Y'all leaving y'all offerings. You know, I'm getting great reports from everybody. I'm glad to hear a lot of you guys have a lot of harmony in your life. You're being inspired and empowered, and just keep up the great work, man. Keep it up, because we making a difference out here. I told y'all, we didn't already had an impact on the physical world. Now we having a positive impact on the afterlife. Now I'm starting to have an impact on people's dream state. You know what I mean? I didn't pretty much covered it all for you guys. Right? I didn't shit. What more can I do? What more can I say? I can't live your life for you. I could give you the right type of hacks that could bring some money into your life. I tell you all about the cinnamon sticks, the Bailey. Y'all need to come join us in the 1089 tech community, because we're going to do Money Making Mondays. We do that every Monday. All you got to do is purchase a pendant. Purchase a pendant from my website. Come join us on Google Chat and get the jewels and the gems. Access to almost 100 Gregory Grabavoy codes, right? Learn the techniques on how to use those codes. Burning cinnamon, the cinnamon rituals, the tea grid rituals. We got a whole bunch of different rituals that's integrated into the moon magic, just to make sure that your moon magic hit right. I want to see people win. If you're not winning, and you find yourself 2 steps behind, a day late and a dollar short, I'm reaching out to you. This message is for your ass. To any rituals you've made. Yeah, I got a few of them, man. You got to come into the community. Come join the community, loved one. You playing. I done seen at least 3 peoples from the time that you've been on be down bad and get up right, and now they on a whole nother page, and you still not in the community. Shouts out to Zay. Zay just came on in. What was it, last month? He just came in, and he's starting to see a shift just that fast. And I told him too, to say it like I told you, Jay Zay. Look at there. And I told him, I was like, hey man, just imagine if you would have came in. You've been knowing me about 3 years. Like, nigga, you'd have came in 3 years ago, you wouldn't even be where you at right now. You'd have been shifted past all of that shit. I don't know what people having going on. You might already got things going in the right direction, but guess what? It didn't even accelerate you even further. It impacts you even more harder. It's just people don't trust. You gotta trust yourself. You gotta trust that divine nudge that you're getting, that intuitive prompting. Yeah, I hear you. But if you want to see the full arsenal, you got to come join the community, because it's just too much. I give out so much on the platform, just on the TikTok. But yeah, I got several rituals that I done made up, several sigils I done made, several hacks. Those shits work. I tell you guys, 1,089 times. Say your Gregory Grabavoy code 1,089 times. 1089 is the magic number for everything. That takes discipline. That takes confidence, discipline, and obedience. Some focus and concentration. Before I came in here, I did 3 Gregory Grabavoy codes at the sun while I was out there in hell and sunlight. Right? I did 3 of them. 27 times a piece, 4 times. Right? That's how you do it. That's how you effectively see. I'm about hitting the bullseye. I don't want you to just hit the target. I want you to hit the bullseye. Then I want you to split that arrow. So I'm gonna tell you the most definitive, practical, rational way to reach that conclusion. Was repetition is key. Memorization is key, right? Consistency is key. Because your efforts will begin to compound and coagulate over time. And it'll start to materialize into a copious event in your reality. It may appear as a miraculous event in your reality, right? An unexplainable event, unprecedented, something that never happened in your life before. You're like, damn, I don't believe this didn't happen to me. You don't got to believe it. Now you know it, right? But I'm a result-based, effort-based teacher. I'm here to give people the truth based on the experiences that I've applied to my life. And a lot of you guys, y'all not getting none of my error. I went through trial and error, right? Trial and error. So all of my errors, you ain't getting that. You get you getting the other end of the trial. So you got that to your benefit. You know, shouts out to Keith. I was just telling Keith that the other day, like, yo, man, shit, you're not learning this shit on the curb. I mean, you learning on the curb, man. You know, I'm giving you all the skinny of the stuff where I didn't fuck up. I ain't telling y'all where the shit went wrong. I'm just showing you where it go right. So you don't have to do, y'all ain't got to go through that. That's the benefit of having a teacher, someone with experience. They bring you up to speed of of everything that they've done. Say, what's the name Rakim mean? Ra is the sun god and Kemet. That's what Rakim said his name mean. That's shouts out to Rakim. That's what he said it mean. That's what he came up with to make that name. Rakim. Shouts out to Rakim. Said my middle and Rakim. That's your middle name? Yeah. Said your pops named you after him? Oh, that's a blessing. Your pops a bad man. Shouts out to your pops, man. Rakim is the God. He's the God MC. For colloquial terms, right? He's the God MC. Nobody fucking with Rakim. I'm the R, the A to the K I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? Yeah, it's about to be 1:44. Nobody has no more questions. We're going to get on up out of here. Come join us in San Antonio. Tickets are still available for the AAA workshop. Come join us in San Antonio. Gain the opportunity to join the AAA Academy and alumni at a discounted rate, because I'm going to keep raising the price on you guys with showing you these altar techniques. It's going to keep going up because it ain't like it don't work. And I'm only dealing with people that's serious, that's really trying to hit these markers, man. Straight up. With that price keep going up, it's well worth it. Come get it right now while it's discounted. It's only discounted for the workshop. I'm doing that once a year. So you could kind of bet your marbles that next year, in July, somewhere in July or June, maybe both, I'm only gonna run it once a year. Other than that, you're gonna have to pay that high ticket. You're gonna have to pay for that. You hear me? But come join us July the 25th. Go check out the website, 1089techvision.com, and come and join us in the 1089 Tech community. Moon Magic Mondays is coming up. You guys don't want to miss that class. You want to get some enhanced hacks on your manifestations? That's the place to be. Till then, I'll see you guys till next time. Follow me on YouTube to see the long version of these lives. I will be uploading highlights. But to see the full video, check us out on the YouTube channel. All right? Peace and love. And the ancestors be with you in this great day and time. May the gods of wealth and fortune maintain them continuously. Yeah, same name, beloved. Wadu.